Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy, and today we are back checking out the brand new Clefairy from Lost Origin. And yes, you did hear that right. We are not checking out Clefable. Clefable is like flaming hot garbage. Clefairy, much better card in this case. If you're not too familiar with it, it does have this attack, Wonderstorm, for 3 colorless energy. There's 20 for each psychic energy attached to all of your Pokemon, which on its own is fine. We have a couple ways at accelerating psychic energy in the format already, but this gets much better once we actually read the ability that Clefairy has, because if it's our active Pokemon, for each of our bench Clefairy, we can search our deck for a psychic energy and attach it to that Clefairy and shuffle our deck. So we're basically just trying to keep switching Clefairies in the active multiple times per turn, just constantly amassing a giant pile of psychic energy to take big one-hit KOs today. So that is the general gist of the deck that we have going on. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of the rest of this deck, if you guys can, just to do me a favor, leave a like on the video to help feed that always hungry YouTube algorithm. And if you need any cards to complete this Clefairy deck for yourself, you can check out our friends over at PTCGO If you use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout, you'll actually get a discount on your order. And Rare Candy's patrons not only had early access to this deck list, but also have their own exclusive discount code for even bigger savings. Or if you guys maybe prefer to win some free codes, friends of the channel over at pokecrossword.com are actually giving away 100 Lost Origin codes right now. If you guys have never checked out their site, every week they put out these Pokemon and Pokemon TCG themed crossword puzzles. And actually just this week, they launched a brand new Guess That Pokemon puzzle as well. So definitely check those out. They are a blast. And like I said, they are doing a Lost Origin 100 code giveaway. To enter, all you guys have to do is head on over to their Twitter account and follow the instructions on the giveaway post. I'll have links to all this stuff today down below in the description. But getting back into our deck list for just a moment, guys, the way I've opted to build this deck is I've tried to build it in what I think is the most greedy way possible. So what I mean by that is we're playing the 4 Battle VIP Pass alongside Clefairy. We want to get all 4 Clefairies ideally in play turn 1, and this is going to be the best card that is going to help us with that. Now, this card is absolute trash in the late game, of course, because you can only play it on turn 1. But if we can have, in theory, a pretty explosive turn 1, that will usually sometimes carry us through the rest of the game. And also kind of on that greedy theme I have with this list, we're also playing Cross Switcher. We're playing no copies of Boss's Orders. Because Cross Switcher, we have to play 2 of these at the same time, but we switch one of our opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, but we also get to switch. So we already want to maneuver our Clefairies around, switch around a lot in a given turn. This helps out with that, and we can also gust up things in the process. You know, probably just cutting this for boss and some additional switching cards honestly might just be a little bit more consistent. But like I said, guys, we're trying to get a little bit greedy with this and try to just high roll our way to victory essentially today. But looking at the rest of our list, going back to our Pokemon specifically, we have a couple other cards I want to point out here. We have the Radiant Greninja to, of course, allow us to draw a few more cards. We play a ton of basic energy, so we always have extra energy to pitch away with this ability. But we also have a backup attacker. We have the Weird Ear V, and it has the Frontier Road ability. Whenever this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active spot, we may move any amount of energy from it or from our other Pokemon to this one. And so we can cheat a ton of energy into play with Clefairy, and then use something like an escape rope or air balloon, whatever it is, to move this thing into the active and use this attack that does 40 for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So this thing is great, especially in the late game, because it's double the amount of damage that our Clefairies are going to be doing. So at the end of the game, once our opponent is down to maybe their last prize or so, we throw this guy down, switch into it, move all of its energy, and just nuke something in our way to take the final prize or the final knockout of the game. We also do have a copy of Oranguru as well, which is a card I really do like in this deck for the Primate Wisdom ability. So this ability has a lot of different uses. So if we're playing something like a Research and we have one of our Cross Switcher pieces in hand, or maybe an Ordinary Rod, these are cards that are very precious for our deck, and we don't actually want to get rid of them. So we can use Primate Wisdom to protect them whenever we're going to get rid of our hand. But also too, in the late game, once we've already gone through a lot of energy, if we have energy in hand, we can actually put it in deck with this ability and get it back into play with our ability on Clefairy. But then looking at the rest of our deck, we have a couple Quick Balls, some Fog Crystals, We got the escape ropes in the deck. We have air balloons, and then we also have switch cart, which is obviously just a better version of switch in this deck, just because it does give us a little bit of healing as well too. We do have training court as our stadium, and I will say you could maybe even change this to Pokestop. Again, if you guys want to go all in on the whole like greedy aspect to this deck, Pokestop might help for like some more explosive turn ones, but training court, you know, it just makes sense alongside Radiant Greninja, so we're still choosing to play this one for the moment. But that's going to be the list we are trying out today for the Clefairy deck. Let's end some games and see if we can get some dubs with this thing. And you know what? I think we're going to go second. It's one thing I've been struggling with a lot. Oh, man, this would have been a sick opening if we had actually gotten a basic. But one thing I've been struggling a lot with this deck is Battle VIP Pass just is such an awful card in this deck, if I'm being honest. Alrighty guys, future Eric here for just a moment. I know I've been pretty harsh on Battle VIP Pass in this video, but after messing with this deck for days after I recorded this, I think I've come to the conclusion that the card's just kind of a necessary evil for the deck. Just some extra food for thought. Well, I say that, then we rip this as an opening, but normally, in my experience, you don't really have great ways at finding these turn one without the help of a supporter. You just have to kind of get lucky like this, which you don't really like to count on as your strategy. But hey, when you open like this, the card definitely feels absolutely busted. So they're going to have a Battle VIP Pass of their own. That's cool. Just curious what we're going to be going against. We see the Bidoof. That doesn't really tell us too much just yet. Okay, so it's going to be Palkia. Now, we need to make sure we don't prize Manaphy, but we do have the Hisuian Heavy Ball, so we're in the clear there. Oof, they have Empoleon. Now, Empoleon is a bit of a pain for us because it can shut down our abilities for basics without a rule box. So as long as they don't have a switch or like an air balloon or something, we're good. We just really need like one turn, I think, with our abilities. Now, luckily we do have 2 escape ropes and we have the 2 cross switchers. So that's good at least. Moment of truth, what does our opponent have here? Evolution Incense. Interesting, they're going to go for that. Maybe they're trying to bait the Marnie by preemptively going for Barrera. Seems like an awkward play, but okay, they don't have the switching option. That is broken. So Battle VIP Pass, just going to grab probably both of these. Yeah, we didn't prize any Pokemon. That's great. Didn't prize any Ordinary Rod. No energy either, surprisingly. What did we prize? We did prize a cross switcher. I mean, overall, guys, I feel kind of okay. We have both escape ropes as well, so it's kind of hard to go wrong with what we have going on here. So Battle VIP Pass again. Oh wait, we did prize a Clefairy, but that's okay, guys. We do still have our Hisuian Heavy Ball. Real question is, do we research this turn? But I kind of like keeping the... kind of like keeping the Ornate Rod. So let's go for the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Grab Clefairy. Okay, and now we're going to get our shenanigans underway here. Okay, so we will Bird Keeper. That seems pretty good. Another Clefairy ability. Now what would be great is if we could rip one more switching card off of this Radiant Greninja. That would be best case scenario here. I don't know if we're that lucky, but that's what we're going to be going for. Okay, does not happen, but we can at least just get an energy down over here and pass over to our opponent. Now what could be really bad for us is if we get Averied. That's a card that would absolutely destroy this setup. Our first turn was so freaking good. Like if they go Avery, knockout with Empoleon, that feels kind of bad. But I think actually in that case, we would just get rid of Manaphy and Radiant Greninja, then Rod the Manaphy back in. That seems pretty good. So they're going to go for an Irida here. Off the Luminion. I'm assuming they're playing it. Okay, so that's not an Avery. Great. That's like the one card we didn't want to see. And okay. Do they have energy in discard? They do. So they still could attack with Empoleon this turn. Okay, but there's going to be the switch. They just need an attachment plus Palkia's VSTAR power. And honestly, them having to burn Palkia's VSTAR power on Empoleon is really good. I'd rather them burn it right now than have like a big late game play with like Greninja or something like that after they knock out Manaphy. So, oh, and they don't have an attack. Oh, okay, and we have the escape rope as well, so we're feeling pretty good about this game, guys. Yeah, let's just go for the rope here. We could attack into the Empoleon, but I really want to try to set up more energy. So let's see, we'll do this. Still have a few more energy left in deck as well. So we'll concealed cards, get rid of this. Honestly, we could Marnie here, but let's see, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20. So yeah, I think we'll just do this and hang on to this hand. Because I kind of want to be able to guarantee getting Clefairy back in deck after we after they knock us out here. Well, maybe actually in hindsight, maybe we should have tried to, okay, cross switcher and Suing Heavy Ball. I'm gonna say maybe we actually should have gone for a Marnie this turn because we're not gonna have access to our abilities again on this next turn. If we just rip cross switcher off of our top deck, that would be good though. So that would allow us to play around this Empoleon. And our other escape rope still is in deck as well, but there's gonna be a Marnie. Actually, like maybe kind of cool with that. If we can rip another escape rope, that would be amazing. Okay, we do have Bird Keeper. So we do at least have a supporter, but we're not going to be able to get like the full value out of it just because of how we're ability locked with Empoleon here. But we're probably just going to see the attack. Does 130, if you guys aren't familiar with it, then they can move an energy to one of their bench Pokemon. So they can keep, you know, preserving energy just in case I do have like a big explosive turn where I can respond to an Empoleon here. So need escape rope. That's the big card we really want to see. We put what, like 7 cards at the bottom of deck, so that's 22 cards. Top deck plus the 3 here. Yeah, still kind of low odds of actually hitting what we need. So we'll just promote this thing. Doesn't help us too much. Let's just go for the Bird Keeper over here. Now what we can do, we could go for a Rangaroo, which I don't hate. So I think we'll just get rid of a Switch Cart. I think we can live with that. Well, yeah, we'll get rid of a Switch Cart. Ooh, no, we could actually go for Weird Ear. This could be a good turn to knock out. We could do that. So we need 6 energy. We have the energy. I think that's what we're going to do, guys. Because the ability on this thing is not shut off. So let's go ahead and grab a Psychic Energy back while we can. Oh yeah, we can still conceal cards as well. I forgot about that. So maybe we should have done this first to see what we to see if we should have gone for the Weird Ear. But let's just go for it. Okay, we would have gotten it, but it's okay, guys. I still think I want to just knock this out while we have a chance here. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 times 4 is going to be 240. Seems pretty good. Okay, and we can still attach return. So I'm just going to get this thing down over here. That seems good. Or probably spread it around. That's probably best. And yeah, this is feeling like a pretty good turn for our deck here. So Empoleon's out the way. And if they don't respond with a KO on this Weird Ear, we can pretty much kind of steamroll them from here. If they have Melanie, they're still going to be okay, guys, because they can Melanie to Palkia and attach. But Our little Clefairy deck, I was like just talking smack about it at the beginning of this game, but we've drawn pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. And we're kind of giving Palkia the hands over here right now. Okay, Tool Jammer is actually a little bit annoying for us, but luckily we do have 2 switch cards, so we still can do some switching shenanigans here. Okay, they're gonna pick up the Greninja. They need a Melanie, that's the big thing. Do they have it? Like, they need Melanie and a switching card, actually. We have not seen a single Melanie. Okay, there's a quick ball. Okay, they're playing Kyurem with their Palkia. But I'm really not afraid of Kyurem, if I'm being honest, though, guys. Kyurem would have been a little bit scary earlier in the game if they could have evolved and gotten that big HP buff. Okay, there's their attachment. Evolution Incense, just going to fail it. Probably draw more cards with the barrel here. Okay, there's a switch. That's a good start for them. So they're committing all the way to being able to draw Melanie here. If they don't, that's probably going to be game, guys, because we can actually do a bunch of switching shenanigans where we get like a billion energy on Weirdeer and can knock out anything in our path. Well, also, is that their first Industrious Incisors? I'm not sure. Because if they have another, they still might be able to draw in a Melanie, which would be bad for us. Okay, they did have another one. For some reason, I thought they already used one here. I'd be surprised if they don't hit the Melanie. Yeah, there it is, guys. They only had 13 cards left in deck. Okay, so they are going to be able to respond to the Weirdeer here. Is what it is. Now we need, what, 7 energy to be able to deal with Palkia VSTAR. I think we can actually pull that off because we're going to be able to recycle Weirdeer. Because between one Clefairy ability and an attachment, we can actually get there. We just need to hit a quick ball. We've only used one, so it definitely could happen. And honestly, too, if we have to, I don't even hate, like, just escape roping and knocking out a 1-prizer this turn. How many rods have we used? We've used none. Okay. Okay, just permanent Clefairy. Tool Jammer is going to turn off our air balloon, though. Okay, that's actually, like, sick. I'm pretty sure we're going to have this KO this turn. So, let's Ordinary Rod. We'll do both. We are running low on energy, so that is a little bit concerning. Actually, you know what? Are we going to be able to pull this off? Depends on how much energy we have in deck, honestly, guys. So we have 2 more energies left after this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we still got this one, guys. So let's just go and switch cart over here. This is an absolutely broken game for the Clefairy deck. Our greed is paying off so hard by going second, ripping the Battle VIP passes. So we'll get rid of the Training Court here. Go for the Weirdeer V yet again. We'll switch cart. Get all of the energy we have in play. All 7. Then we actually have another one in hand, too. So, yeah, Palkia is not going to be surviving this one. So, Weirdeer coming in with the Side Shield Bash, taking, you know, 2/3 of our prizes. Like, this really wasn't so much as of a Clefairy deck as it was, like, Clefairy used as an engine for Weirdeer V. But, hey, ended up working out for us. Okay, we won the flip, but I'm going to choose to go second. I've been kind of on a roll with choosing to go second with this deck. Just because, like, hitting the Battle VIP pass has been a little bit difficult going first. Got some Mew sleeves. We got a Water deck box with Lucario coins. So a lot of mixed signals over here so far. This is not a great hand. Not at all. But, I mean, we're really only, like, one card away from having a playable hand. Like, we just ripped Battle VIP pass. We're kind of in a good spot. Okay, there's going to be Palkia. We definitely need to make sure we get our mana fee down. Radiant Greninja is super scary for our deck. But let's see what they got here. Okay, and it passed us. Cool. So I think, unfortunately, that we're going to have to go for Radiant Greninja here. And we did prize Clefairy. But we do have a Heavy Ball. And we have all of our draw supporters. So... and all of our Battle VIP passes. So we have a lot of live cards that we could hit here. So... was that 8 plus 4? So we have 12 potential cards we could rip off of these 2 concealed cards. So let's see what we can make happen. Well, that's less than useless. Feels bad. Guess we'll just get back a Psychic Energy, attach, and pass. Feels bad. 100% feels bad. I am kind of bummed we had to give them the training court as well, but hopefully it won't wind up being a huge deal here. So they are still going to need Melanie. Okay, or if they can get rid of an energy, which shouldn't be an issue for them. And they can move for Ninja, they can still get a knockout on Clefairy. So I think we're in kind of a bad spot, guys. And this is like, on our previous turn, this is where Pokestop theoretically may have been good instead of Training Court. Like I said, that was a stadium I was considering for this deck, since we are trying to play like the greediest version of Clefairy possible here. But right now, things aren't looking too hot. Just fingers crossed we somehow survive this turn. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. Have yet to see a Scoop Up Net. That's like the next card that they're definitely going to be looking for here. Or if they just use the VSTAR power, they can just hard retreat that way. Because they could accelerate here and here, then just manually retreat Greninja. Which, I would be happy to see the Greninja, like, just retreat and them not be able to use their VSTAR power to power it up in a single turn, like in the late game. But I'm kind of hoping they hold on to their VSTAR power and just take another turn to get set up. Again, I think it's unlikely, but that's what I'm kind of rooting for here. And I'm sure they're thinking about it. Okay, and they are going to save their VSTAR power. That is amazing for us. We definitely needed that. So let's go for the concealed card. Okay, perfect. Well, not so perfect, because this is a lot of... Guys, we're going to be losing 4 switching cards. I mean, I guess we do this. What do we want to attack into? Probably a Sobble. We have a chance of actually knocking that out. So I think that's what we're going to be going for. We'll just Rod over here, get energy back in deck. And just research. So, feels bad losing this many switching cards, but this is trash. And this is where Battle VIP Pass is really bad for games like this. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is I really don't like this card in this deck at all, but We're trying to make it work here. And now they can actually just knock us out with Radiant Greninja potentially. So I think we just retreat and try to save our Clefairies. And pass. So yeah, we're probably about to get bopped by this Radiant Greninja over here. So we were lucky enough to dodge and knock out that turn. I don't think we're lucky enough to dodge another KO, because all they have to do is find a scoop up net. They have like 1 billion Sobble pieces in play. Yeah. If they just net VSTAR power, they win, I'm pretty sure. Like, we really can't come back from that. So it's definitely like games like these where I really wish these were just like Level Ball or Fog Crystal or stuff like that. So actually, see, I'm still not sure exactly how I want to build this Clefairy deck, but I'm definitely have extremely mixed feelings about Battle VIP Pass. But let's see, maybe they have a different game plan. Like maybe they'll just try to knock out Radiant Greninja. I'd kind of be okay with that. But I'm pretty sure they're probably smart enough to realize that Clefairy is the threat. They should probably just knock both of those out with Radiant Greninja. They'll be fine. Like, honestly, they can probably safely attach to Radiant Greninja and use star power for all three. For all three energies. That way they could threaten, like, back-to-back knockouts. And there's going to be the Inteleon. Inteleon's also... Oh, but they're going to choose to put damage here. Interesting. So, curious what route they're going to go here. Okay. Yep, the Greninja is coming, unfortunately. Now they could go 90-90 and be 20 away from an Inteleon ping, finishing this off. But I think just knocking out the Clefairies is definitely going to be like the best course of action. If they knock out the Clefairies, our Bird Keeper is not going to work either, so we might actually have to scoop this one up. Yeah, okay. So that's like kind of a wrap. I hate to say it. Like, this is very early in the game, but I think we're done. Like, if we top deck research, I'll play this one out, guys, but I think we're probably just going to scoop this one up. Yeah, our opponent got us there. Kind of hard to come back. Well, before we scoop, we'll concealed cards at least. Yeah, so officially I am done with this one. We will concede to them. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it today for the Clefairy deck. This thing's definitely, I think, a good bit of fun to play, but I'm really not convinced this is going to be like a big tier 1 contender in the new format for a variety of reasons, really. And if I had to iterate on this deck a little bit more going forward, I think I would probably shy away from some of these like very inconsistent, high rolly sort of cards like Battle VIP Pass and Cross Switcher. I just think they're a little too inconsistent. I think probably going forward, I would probably change Cross Switcher back over to like 2 boss and maybe another switch cart or 2, something kind of like that. But either way, hope you guys still enjoyed a look at this deck. Of course, if you did, remember to leave a like on the video. And if you're feeling maybe a little extra generous and want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. Links will be down below in the description. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.